Hold on, is this a good shot?
I did not do 17.
Okay, that's a good shot.
Oh, speaking of which, what was that number?
There you
It
go.
was a 4?
Yeah. A lot of people say it looks like an 8.
It looked,
right?
careful with that, okay?
Yeah.
Was it right, Mr. Newsom?
We'll find out.
Sorry.
So we want to find the equation of the parabola that has a focus at 2, 4, and a directrix at y equals -2. Okay? All right. So why is this one harder?
Because you don't have to.
What don't we know?
The vertex.
We don't know the vertex. It'd be nice to know the vertex. Kind of be imperative to know the vertex.
Just find the distance in the mid.
I don't know what the vertex is. How do I
Can
figure
we
it out?
find the midpoint between?
I would always graph it.
Yep.
Just so that I can get some idea what the heck I'm looking at.
Shouldn't be the mid.
Okay? Well, but this is a line. So it's hard to say the midpoint between a point and a line. I mean, yes is the answer to that
Point
question.
on the line.
Yes.
I know it wasn't necessarily towards me, but I did hear it.
Yes.
So 2, 4 is up here. That's our focus. And the directrix is y equals -2. What does that look like?
-2.
The horizontal line.
Horizontal line at
-2.
-2. So there's -2.
So -2
that,
is 4.
and there's our directrix.
Or 2 negative 4. Wait, no. 2 negative 2.
Before you do anything else, do you know anything else?
Yeah.
T is always the inside of them.
It's going
Do you
It
know
opens up.
how it opens?
Up.
Yeah.
No.
Opens up?
I can do.
Oh, yes, we do.
Opens up. The vertex has to be somewhere in here. And it has to, and then the focus is inside, so it's got to go like this. And that's the only way that it wouldn't go through the directrix also. So it has to open up. Okay? So being that it's going to open up, I can already start to write the equation even before I have the vertex. What would I write?
X minus squared equals 4p y minus k.
Why? Why is this the equation? Because it's vertical, and therefore
It's that formula. The Y.
the y
It's not being squared.
is the unsquared term. Good. One of the classes has been trying to tell me that because it's vertical, it's x squared. And I'm warning you, and I've been kind of strong about my warnings there. Good.
Oh,
So y is the unsquared term. So cool. Now that we know this, what should we try to find? Vertex. That sounds good. How far is it from the focus to the directrix?
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, right? So to get from there to here,
Down.
how many units?
6.
6 units from here to here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So
The vertex is
I'm listening for a number. 3, that's a good number. So 3 units
up from the directrix.
or 3 units
Down.
below the vertex. 1, 2, 3. I said vertex. Focus. I've done that approximately 9 times today already. I mean to say vertex and I say focus, or I mean to say focus and I say vertex. I'm sorry. Just yell at me. Remind me I'm saying something bad. God bless you. What is the vertex?
2, 1.
2, 1. Okay, what do I write?
X minus 3 squared equals
4p
y minus 1 not squared.
Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Questions on that? Do we know P?
Yes.
What be P?
3.
3. P be 3. Because it's 3 units from there to there. Therefore, x minus 2 squared equals 12 times y minus 1. There is one thing we have not yet addressed. Should that 12 be positive or negative?
Positive.
Why?
It opens upwards.
It opens up, and up is a positive direction. So that's our answer?
Yes.
I would agree. Did you get it right? Is that all?
Yeah.
The rest was easy?
Yeah?
You had like 25 problems and you still say it was easy?
25. 25. 12, 13,
23?
14, 15, 16,
23.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 23.
Because it was 12, no, it was 25. It was 12 and 8 and 5.
Oh, yeah, 23.
I was
Wait,
saying it
no,
was 10 and 8
25.
and 5, but it was 12 and 8 and 5.
25.
25 problems was easy? Was it short or long?
Short.
Short. Because the only thing that took more than 30 seconds was
That section.
the last few problems, yeah. Okay. Away we go. Anybody need this still? You just did a homework assignment on page 1,000 and something.
That's just.
It's kind of wild.
Oh, wait, listen, I have a question. Can you go up on that? Because one of the points, it said 1, -1, but it was at -1, -1.
So you're saying there's a typo in the book? Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait, that doesn't necessarily go with that one.
On the right?
But that doesn't necessarily go with that.
No, no, I'm saying the point is not 1, -1.
The point is not 1, -1. You can't see that little negative in there? I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Was it supposed to be 1, -1?
Well, isn't the point at -1, -1?
No, she means that the graph.
Like the point right there, it shouldn't say
No,
1.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to decide if...
What it should say.
So, I'm trying to decide whether it's graphed wrong or whether the equation's wrong.
Oh.
And it ends up that since this is at 1, -1, and it's horizontal and it's negative, this should be at 1, -1, and it should be here. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. Dang book. Useless. All right. So at this moment, if we were looking at question number 24, writing the equation for this parabola, how do you feel about it?
Good.
Really, not so great?
Okay.
Okay. Tell me what you know about 24.
The vertex is -1.
We know the vertex. Vertex is
-1, 2.
-1, 2. Vertex is -1, 2. Got it. Do we know anything else?
Some points.
We can find the focus.
We do not know the focus.
Wait, because.
Well, we can find it.
Because we know 2 points.
We can find it?
Yeah.
With what we have right here, we can find the focus?
Yes.
How?
We have the lattice rectangle.
We do?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
They have the same answer.
Okay, but
Yes.
but
And they're the same
how do we know that those are on the lattice rectum?
Because they're
because they are.
So are they. Why aren't they the lattice rectum? So are they. Why aren't they the lattice rectum?
The math gods and allowed us to see the
The answer is we have no idea if that's the lattice rectum, if those are the endpoints of the lattice rectum. They might be. They might be. But we have not been told in any way, shape, or form that they are. We don't know what the vertex is. We don't know if that's the lattice rectum or not.
No, we do know the vertex.
We do know the vertex.
You said we don't.
We did it again. 10. I'm up to 10 now. 10 times. We don't know the focus.
Get this.
Me neither.
We don't know the focus. Yes, I got that
There we
one.
go. Because that's
We don't know if those points are the lattice rectum, so we just don't know that yet. So besides the vertex, what do we know?
You know which way it opens.
How important is which direction it opens? I could argue very easily that it's more important than the vertex. Because if we don't know the direction it opens, well, let me ask you this. Find the equation of the parabola that has a vertex at 5, 8. Why not?
we don't know which way it opens.
Why does that matter?
We don't know which equation.
We don't know which formula to use. Right? We don't know which equation to use. If we don't know the direction it opens, then it doesn't matter what we know, we cannot possibly get the equation. So that's why I could argue that the direction it opens is more important even than the vertex. So, what else do we know?
Which way it opens. It opens left.
It opens to the left.
And it's a negative.
That is important. Can we now start to write the equation?
Yes.
Yes, because we know it opens to the left. Since it opens to the left, then P is negative, and it's horizontal, which means that we use the horizontal one. Give me a little more than we use the horizontal one. How do I remember which one's the
So
horizontal
y
one?
is squared.
X is unsquared.
X is unsquared.
Squared.
X is unsquared term.
Unsquared term.
Left is what type of a direction?
Negative.
Is it a vertical or a horizontal direction?
Horizontal.
It is a horizontal direction, which therefore means that x
X is
is the
unsquared.
unsquared term. Okay, I heard all kinds of different things, and I want to make sure we're focused on one. Left is horizontal. Horizontal means x is the unsquared term. Therefore, what can I write? Do not try to shortcut this. I think I said that yesterday. I'm going to say it again today. I'm sure I'll say it again on Monday. I'm sure I'll say it on Tuesday. Do not shortcut these. Write down every step. A couple of people tried to shortcut some things on the most recent test that you just looked at, and it did not go well. Okay? Write everything down. Now what can I write? Vertex. Talk to me.
Y minus 2 squared. 4p.
Oops.
Plus 1.
Okay. Cool. What do we need to find now? We need to find P. And as we discussed a minute or two ago, we don't know what P is. We might think we know what
We can put
the focus is.
in the other points.
And that might be. We might be right, but we don't know. So there's really only one way, given what we know right now, to find P. What do you think it has something to do with?
The points.
The points. In fact, we only need one point.
Plug it in.
If we plug the point in, we would plug it in for
The X and the Y.
the x and the y, which will leave us only
With P.
p in the equation. If we have an equation that has one variable, how do we feel about that?
Pretty good.
Pretty good, because we can solve for that one variable. So that is my suggestion. My suggestion is take one of the points, doesn't matter which one, plug them in for x and y, and let's see what happens.
Can we do that?
Negative 3, 6, that's the one I would pick. I would pick it because
Positive.
less negatives. For me, the less negatives, the better. Now, if you wanted to do negative 3, negative 2, that's fine. Doesn't matter. We'll get the same answer as long as neither one of us messes up. So, tell me what to write.
6 minus
6 minus 2 squared. 4p times negative 3 plus 1. 16 equals negative 8p. P equals negative 2.
How do you get negative
P negative?
8p?
So it worked out that way without us even really paying attention to it. Like we didn't worry about it and we still found p is negative. So that should hopefully give us more confidence saying, well, I like that. P is negative, it opens left, and it's supposed to be negative. Life is good. So, what do we do?
Now we can find a diagonal.
Y minus 2 squared equals negative 8p x plus 1.
B.
Oh, not p, x plus 1.
There's our answer. In a way, it's almost like finding the b in y equals mx plus b, isn't it? You know, we put the m in, and then we say, okay, let's take a point, and we plug it in for x and y, and then we get our b, and then we plug our b back in to give us our answer. All right, now I want to talk about something else on this one. You were talking about these two points, and you're asking if this, wow, that's supposed to be a straight segment. It's not very good. You're wondering if this is the lattice rectum.
It is.
Is it?
Yes. P's negative 2.
Since p
Is negative 2.
is -2,
And that's the distance.
then to find the
Focus.
focus, we would move
2
2 units
to the left.
to the left from
The vertex.
vertex. There's vertex, 2 units to the, oh,
There's P.
There's
the
P.
vertex.
no,
There's the
there's
vertex.
focus.
The focus. The focus.
I have enough trouble with this, you can't make it worse for, I'm just kidding.
It's not your fault, Karma.
I'm having so many word problems today, it's, anyway, is that the lattice rectum?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Because it is a vertical segment that goes through the focus. So it is the lattice rectum. By the way, how long is the lattice rectum here? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
For real?
The length of the lattice rectum is equal to, it's officially equal to the absolute value of 4p. In other words, it has to be positive. A length that's going to be positive. So, if I told you that for each of these problems from 21 to 24, the points that they give us are the endpoints of the lattice rectum, would that make life easier? Yeah, because check out 22 for instance.
So sorry to interrupt. Can I borrow Christian for like 30 seconds?
You can keep them.
Oh, I can keep it.
Wow.
I'll be right back. Thank you.
It's too easy a line, I had to take it. She asked if she could borrow him. Just take him. Look at 22. Does that make 22 easier?
Yeah.
It's vertical, which means that y is the unsquared term. So x comes first. Here's our vertex. So x minus 2 squared equals. How long is the lattice rectum? It's from -2 to 6. So it's 8 units. 8 times y plus 1. Should that 8 be positive or negative?
Positive.
Why? Because it opens up. We're done with it already. Almost done. Because when we looked at this, there's no way to really truly know that that is the lattice rectum. So I'm telling you now that it is. I'm trying to make your life easier for your homework. Okay? Come on. Give me. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. let's look down below. Number 26. We want to find the focus, vertex, directrix, and length of the lattice rectum and graph the parabola. Okay, so first let's find focus, vertex, directrix, and length of the lattice rectum. In number 26, what's the easiest of those four things to find? Focus, vertex, directrix, length of the lattice rectum. How long is the lattice rectum?
12.
Done.
Oh.
Right? The length of the lattice rectum is 12. In number 27, what's the length of the lattice rectum? 2. It's just the number that's right there. Because the number that's right there is 4p. And the length of the lattice rectum is 4p. So whatever number is there is the length of the lattice rectum. Just the positive value, the absolute value. Okay? What's the next easiest thing to find? Is that for me?
No.
Never get anything. What's the next easiest thing to find
Which way
for number 26?
The direction.
Vertex. What's the vertex? 0, 0. Why? Because nothing's being subtracted from x, nothing's being subtracted from y. Right? If this were x minus 0 squared, then it would just be x squared. And so y plus 0 would just be y. Right? So if nothing's being subtracted, vertex is 0, 0. What's the next thing you know?
It's vertical.
It's vertical. That's good to know. What's the next thing you know? It opens who? Down, because
Negative.
P is
12 is negative. Okay, so it opens down. Down. What's the next thing you know?
Focus. No. Yes.
You know the focus?
Yes.
What's the next thing you should be finding out? What do you need to know to be able to find the focus and the directrix?
P, right?
P.
Oh,
Got to know P, right? What's P?
Negative
P is not 12.
Negative 3.
Remember what is in front. 4P. So how do we get P?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4. What is P?
Negative 3.
P is negative 3. You know what? I'm going to graph it on this thing just so I have a general idea what I'm doing here. Vertex is 0, 0. It opens down. P is 3. So what does that mean?
Focus. It opens.
To get to the focus, where do we have to go?
Down 3.
Go down 3. 1, 2, 3. Vertex, focus. What are the coordinates of the focus?
0, negative 3.
0, negative 3. What's next? Directrix. Where's the directrix? 3 units above. So 1, 2, 3. Is it fair to say that the directrix is 0, 3? Why not? Because it's a line. What's the directrix?
Y equals 3.
Y equals 3. Much, much better. Have we found all the things they want us to find? The focus, the vertex, the directrix, and the length of the lattice rectum. We got all that. So now the last thing we have to do is graph it. How do we graph it?
You can find 2 points.
I'm not sure if I've talked to you about this yet. So let's do that. What were you saying?
You can find 2 points.
We can find 2 points. Very good. How can we find 2 points?
The lattice rectum.
The lattice rectum. That is the main purpose for us for the lattice rectum. It is to draw this thing. If the lattice rectum is 12 units long, and it goes through
Focus.
the
Focus.
focus, how do we draw the lattice rectum?
6 left and 6 right.
6 left and 6 right. If we go 6 left and 6 right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you laughing at me? It's okay if we are, I'm kind of used to it. Now what?
It opens down.
Draw it.
Draw it.
Connect
How?
the dots.
It opens down. So connect the
Connect the
dots
dots.
downward.
Kind of like that?
Curve. Just
No, curve
You
it.
don't like that?
this is a little.
No triangles.
Close enough.
Yeah.
How's that?
Like that.
Okay. That's perfect.
I don't like that you do it for that.
Questions there? Getting better? Cool.
Wait. The lattice rectangle cannot be an odd number?
Can be.
Just be a
We're hoping
0.5.
it's not.
Because if it's an odd number, you can't do that. It's 6.
We can.
You just have
We
to
do
divide
like
by 2.
5.5 and 5.5 or something like that.
Oh,
So,
okay, that makes sense.
so it is what it is. We'd certainly like it to be even. We'd love it to be divisible by 4. But if it's not, we just have to deal with it. Okay? Is it fair to say that 2 days ago you thought you knew a lot about parabolas and now you realize that you didn't know as much as you thought you knew about parabolas? No, it's not fair to say that? Okay. That's
No,
fine.
it is fair.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair, but who am I?
You're Mr. Henry.
Question number 34. Question number 34.
I'm running out of room.
How would you feel about finding the vertex and graphing number 34 at this point? Pretty good? Could you tell me what the vertex is?
1, -2.
Fair to say that this is a be careful moment?
Yes.
Okay? Really be careful here because you know what it is, but instinctively you want to start from the left and say, okay, -2 there and 1 there, and then all of a sudden you get points off and you're mad, right? And it's understandable, but so be careful. Make sure you find the x first and then the y. So what is the vertex here?
1, -2.
1, -2, good. Okay, what direction does it open?
Up, right. Nope.
Ooh, I think I've heard all 4 directions. I predict, since I've heard all 4 directions, I predict that somebody is right.
I said them all 4, so
Which direction does it open?
Left.
I'm hearing a lot of lefts.
left.
Left.
Why is it left?
Because x is the
X is
unsquared
unsquared
X is
and
the
it's
unsquared
negative.
term, which means it opens
term. Horizontal.
horizontally, and
P is
P is
negative.
negative, which means it opens
Left.
left. What is P?
-1.
P is -1. Good. What's the length of lattice rectum?
1. Orange. Oh, I can now.
4.
Okay. I took P.
P is 1, or -1. P is -1.
Oh.
But the length of lattice rectum is 4. Okay there? All right, I'm not going to graph it. We have more things to do.
Oh.
How would you feel about finding the vertex and graphing number 42?
Sure.
Let's work on 42.
Would you feel less confident about it at this moment?
A little bit,
Okay.
but
So therefore, we should probably do that one, huh?
Yeah, sure.
X squared minus 6x minus 4y plus 10 equals 0.
I just wrote 44.
Okay. Why do we not like this?
Because
It's not in the form that we want.
expanded.
Okay. What do we have in the form that we want that's not here? Parentheses?
Yes.
A parentheses that's being
On both sides.
squared. Parentheses that's being squared. Boy, I wish I could get a parentheses that's being squared.
We can. We can.
Factor? We're on the right track.
Completing the square?
Completing this.
I just did that.
It's back.
Red. That's all it is. That's
I
not
heard
rainbow.
both
Yeah.
of them independently. I thought it. So I don't think that one of them got it from the other. I did hear both of them, and I think independently.
You guys are both winners.
What about me? I said it too, exactly at the same time.
All right, we are going to complete the square. Get ready for it because it's going to happen a lot in the next week and a half. Okay? We're going to complete the square here. We're going to complete the square in ellipses. We're going to complete the square in
everywhere.
hyperbolas. We already did complete the square in circles. You may not remember, but we did.
It rhymes.
Okay.
Complete the square everywhere.
So, in which variable do we want to complete the square here? X, why X?
Because it's X.
Because that's the squared one. So,
Because Y is
what is typically our first step here? Clear the constant. What I'm going to change the phrasing to for right now is clear everything that's not X. Because we want the X stuff by itself. So, X squared minus 6X
equals
equals
4Y minus 10.
4Y minus 10. Well done. Okay, so are we in good shape now to complete the square? Okay, go.
Oh, shoot, I forgot.
Tell me what to write.
Negative
Minus
3.
3
Plus 9.
plus 9
X both sides.
plus 9. Cool.
Factor.
X minus 3 squared.
X minus 3 squared equals 4y minus 1. Are we in our form yet?
No.
Not quite. Are we on our way there?
Yes.
Absolutely. So it was a good move to do this. What's the problem now?
Y has a 4 in front of it.
Y has a 4 in front of it, yeah? Okay, what can we do?
Divide by.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
the
that's
problem is, what's the problem if we divide?
Well,
Then you have to move it over to the other
side.
side.
We'd have to do it to both sides, right?
We don't want to do that.
Do we want to divide the left side by 4?
No.
What do we want to do with the left side?
Leave it.
Keep it the same.
We want to leave it. We don't want to do anything with the left side. So, can we take the 4 out? Can we undistribute?
Yes.
Okay, let's try it, see what happens. X minus 3 squared equals 4
Parentheses.
parentheses
Y minus 1 4.
y minus
Yeah,
1/4. Are we now in our form?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. So we done goodly.
Wow.
Yeah, we done goodly.
But we're not finished.
Well, remember what we want to know.
Yeah, we're not finished.
We want to know the vertex, and we want to graph it. So what's the vertex?
3 1/4.
3 1/4.
3 and 1/4. Okay. What do you know about this thing?
P is 1.
P is 1.
The lattice rectum is 4. Lattice rectum is 4.
I'm going to be honest.